Joining me tonight on the news are Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author. Also joining me tonight, Firoz Bakht Ahmed, former Vice Chancellor of the Manu University. Sanjay Jha, author, suspended Congress leader, Rohit Agarwal, spokesperson of the RLD. But my first question goes to the star Neta, former MLA of the AIMIM, who's also a national spokesperson. And Varis Pathan Sahab, I want to begin with you and I want to ask you, you're a very secular person, isn't that right?
Right.
Right?
Absolutely right.
ठीक है तो अगर मैं आपको राम राम बोलूं
पर्सन फॉलोइंग द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन गिवन टू अस बाय डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर
ओके अगर मैं आपको राम राम बोलूं तो आप मुझे आरआर बोलोगे क्योंकि जय श्री राम को तो आप जेएसआर बोलते हो राम राम तो हमारे यहाँ नमस्ते नमस्कार ऐसे राम राम आदाब करते हैं आरआर बोलेंगे
या नाविका जी मुझे ये नहीं पता आप कितना संविधान को मानते हो लेकिन मैं तो संविधान को मानने वाला हूं आप मुझे बता दीजिए वेयर इज रिटन इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दैट आई हैव टू से दिस टू प्रूव माय सेक्युलरिज्म एंड पेट्रियोटिज्म
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में तो आपको आदाब करना भी नहीं लिखा हुआ नोबडी राइट्स इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दैट आई शुड से आदाब टू यू बट आई से
फोर्स कर दे
नहीं आई एम नॉट फोर्सिंग यू आई एम आस्किंग यू
से आई विल स्टैंड बाय आई स्टैंड विथ यू आप बोलिए आई विल बी विथ यू
ओके राम राम
I'll stand with you. आप बोलिए, but you cannot force me to say something which I don't
पर
want.
मैं आपको राम राम बोलूंगी तो आप जवाब क्या देंगे? If I say राम राम to you, what will you respond?
राम राम बोलेंगे क्या खारिज हो जाएंगे मियाँ?
I will say अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह.
सेक्युलर. आप नमस्ते की राम राम नहीं बोलेंगे, but you want the prime minister to go to the Kashi की मस्जिद. I want to only ask you this question. Are you going to decide what is secular, what is not secular in this country, where the Prime Minister should go or not go? Why does the Prime Minister have to prove his credentials to you and Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi? Because he's proved his credentials not once but twice over to the people of India. Which constitution gives you the authority to determine the credentials of the Prime Minister.
Ask him, Navika, he is my Prime Minister also, is your Prime Minister also, is the Prime Minister of India. He is not the Prime Minister of Egypt. What we said that Prime Minister loves to go to a mosque, so kindly come with us, let us go to Kashi also, here a mosque there. Prime Minister loves to hug the Dadi and Topi wala in Egypt, why not here in India? We have so many Dadi wala, Topi wala in our country who are dying to hug the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister does not have time to hug them. The Prime Minister goes out and says that हमारे यहाँ कोई religious discrimination नहीं है. But let me tell you, Navika, as you have reminded me, just yesterday itself in Maharashtra, where is a BJP ruled state, what happened? Two boys were mercilessly mobbed merely on the suspicion of carrying cow by these cow vigilantes, so-called goons. And what has happened? One person has died and the other one is fighting for his life in the hospital. So where is religious discrimination not there in the country? Sabka saath, sabka vikas. Sabka vikas and sabka prayas is the slogan given by the Prime Minister.
In a Congress, rule, my friend, I am not distracting. I am not distracting away from any such incidents that may happen. They may happen in a BJP ruled state. They may happen in other states. Well, Kanhaiya died and was killed and was lynched in not a BJP ruled state. But you didn't have any tears to spare. But let me get in Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, secular Mr. Varis Pathan and very secular Mr. Owaisi want to determine where the Prime Minister goes. They are not concerned about how this visit has virtually shaken up our neighbors. They've virtually shaken up developed countries, but they're only interested in some comments that have come in, and they want to decide the credentials of the Prime Minister. Of course, Mr. Varis Pathan will never say this, but he had to apologize just because he had said Ganpati Bappa Moria. ये बोलने के बाद उन्होंने apologize किया था, and he wants to be the beacon of secularism in India. Gaurav Bhatia, how do you respond to him?
Navika, first of all, you cannot blame people like Varis Pathan, Mamta Banerjee, Akhilesh Yadav, Nitish Kumar. ये सब सदमे में हैं, सदमे में हैं, आग लगी है छाती पे. It has been established now, Shri Narendra Modi ji is the tallest leader in the world. every Indian is feeling proud of the fact that we are engaging with the US from a position of strength. And this is a victory, this is an honor for India, the nation, because the respect has been bestowed upon the Prime Minister of India. Yahi ye dekh nahi paate. The topic of today's debate, I was told, is also the insensitive remark made by Barack Obama, former president of the USA. Navika, I take strong objection to what he said, and I will tell you the reason. We are a democracy. We will take all criticism. Barack Obama can make any statements he wants. This is clearly a very true reflection of how we even handle criticism. But the point is this, that we, India, don't need a certificate from Barack Obama, because the world knows today the strongest, the most vibrant, and the most powerful democracy in the world today is India, Bharat, which belongs to us. And it's a question of my sovereignty. You know, if minorities say, minorities could be Sikh, Jain, Christians, Baudh, Parsis, not just Muslims. If they are aggrieved by a violation of their right, we have the Honorable Supreme Court of India. People move there. The Honorable Supreme Court of India, the High Court, they intervene. That is a proof of a democracy. Why is it that Barack Obama, look at the timing, makes such an irresponsible remark when the administration, which speaks through its elected president Joe Biden and an elected government, which is also a Democrat government, is giving a welcome to Shri Narendra Modi ji? Who do we believe? I think people will go with what the elected government and the president is saying. Second, Mr. Barack Obama, when he visited China and he was the president of the US, did he worry about the minorities there, the Uyghur Muslims? I was looking at all his statements. He never spoke about Uyghur Muslims there. And I think the most respected people, the Muslims anywhere in the world, are in India because they're treated like citizens. Religion comes later. It's first the feeling of being an Indian. Now responding to Waris Pathan. ये वारिस पठान सेक्युलर है? ये वो वारिस पठान है नाविका जी जिन्होंने कहा था हम 15 करोड़ हैं, 100 करोड़ पे भारी है? ये सेक्युलर है. इनकी पार्टी के नाम में मुस्लिमीन आता है, ये सेक्युलर है. ओवैसी जी कहते हैं 10 मिनट के लिए पुलिस हटाओ, हम मजा चका देंगे हिंदुओं को, ये सेक्युलर है. और मैं तो इनसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं, आप याकूब मेमन, when he was given a death sentence by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, OAC came out, the barrister who is more of a Shariaster, and he said, because Yaqub Memon is a Muslim, that is why he is being sentenced to death by the Supreme Court. ये लोग सेक्युलर है. अगर इसको सेक्युलरिज्म कहते हैं तो भगवान किसी को सेक्युलर ना बनाए.
Respond, Waris Pathan.
Navika, we don't need to have a certificate of secularism or this from BJP spokespersons. We know what they are. They talk about secularism and what they do in the name of secularism. Nirmala Sitharaman says Barack Obama said this, that, and that. She's the finance minister of our country. She does not have time to support a single tweet on Manipur issue when 300 plus churches have went. She's talking about the Muslims in India. What have we got to do with the Egyptian Muslims or the Saudi Muslims or UAE Muslims? We are worried about the Indian. We are proud Indian Muslims. She is the finance minister. 40% of the minorities budget is reduced last year by Nirmala Sitharaman. What have you to say about that? Pre-medical scholarship, you have removed that by Nirmala Sitharaman. She does not have that. Maulana Azad scholarship was given to the students, Muslims. She has taken away that, and she is worried about the Muslims. What Barack Obama said? Barack Obama was Modi's friend. Sir, they used to sit on chai for charcha. Chai pe charcha, Gaurav Bhatia, they used to have the chai together at their best of buddies. And what did he say? The minorities of the India are facing trouble. Are in trouble. Can you look into it? What wrong did he say?
Only outgoing, no
incoming. Taken care of in India. Muslim minorities must be protected. Otherwise, India will collapse. What wrong did he say? And why are you so much?
I have a question for you.
What
I have a question for you.
That is what he said. And he's the expert.
I have a question.
United States.
I have a question.
You keep quiet. Well,
I have an objection. I have an objection before Gaurav Bhatia, your question comes in. And my objection to you, Waris Pathan, is you only singled out churches being burnt. Temples have also been burnt in Manipur. So let's not be selective.
Manipur.
Yeah, in Manipur.
No, mob lynching. I'm talking about mob lynching as well. I'm talking about the Himachal Pradesh issue as well. Himachal Pradesh is ruled by the Congress. They're openly calling that within 30 days, if the Muslims don't leave, they will kill them. What is the Congress doing now?
We'll ask that question. We'll ask that question, but let me ask you. I have in the studio with me. I have in the studio with me Mr. Firoz Bakht Ahmed. मेरे लिए ये मेरे बच्चों के गुरुजी हैं. He has taught my children. So for us, he is Guruji.
Thank you so much.
And I have never looked at him as somebody who's a Muslim, who's a Hindu, who's a Sikh, who's a Christian. I've never looked at him as, like that. And the entire childhood of my children, I've met him in school, in modern school where he was teaching. And he was teaching my children English, debating, everything. So Firoz Bakht Ahmed Sahab, I want to ask you, when a certain picture is painted about the Prime Minister, about the state of Muslims, you're a Muslim yourself. Has there been any discrimination against you?
Thank you, Navika. Thank you very much for giving me that kind of mileage. I would start on a discordant note. The tagline. Your tagline today is BJP hails PM's visit. It is not BJP. India hails, it should be. In fact, the entire world hails. Some countries like China or maybe Turkey, maybe Pakistan, maybe others of their ilk, they might have been shattered. Anyway, now having said that, yes, I am a Muslim, and what, some people tell me that I am a Sanskari and a Rashtrawadi Muslim, like 99% Muslims of India. Now, this visit of Prime Minister Modi, I think it's a historic visit. And we are all proud, whether Hindus or Muslims, Sikhs or Christians, whatever, irrespective of whatever, their faith is. India is a very proud country. And even, we were hearing this gentleman, Johnny Moore, even he said that a country like America has to learn about the diversity from India. I mean, India now stands as one of the tallest, rather the tallest nation in the world. Don't go into the words. And finally, as a Muslim, I believe that over the last 9 years, 8-9 years, the kind of tone and tenure of Prime Minister Modi with the Muslim community is remarkable. He started with this. You are talking about this Grand Mufti of Egypt. Grand Mufti of Egypt was at this very major conference, Sufi conference, World Sufi conference, where Prime Minister Modi took 99 names of Allah, right? And in front of me, I was on the second seat in Vigyan Bhavan when this conference took place. Just in front of me was the Grand Mufti of Sudan. You know what he was saying, Navika? I love you, Modi. I love you, Modi, in his own. So Modi has actually acquired that kind of love, not only among Muslims or Hindus, the entire world. And being a Muslim, I am proud that I am born in India. I am not born in a country like, say, Pakistan or maybe Syria, maybe Iran or any other Muslim country of the 57 Muslim countries. And ask my friend, I heard my friend, my worthy friend, a lawyer from AIMIM, Pathan Saab, ask him if he is given, India is a bad country according to him, and he does not like Modi, fine. Would he like to settle in one of the 57 countries after leaving India? Right. So, as a Muslim, I am proud of Prime Minister Modi. He is not only my Prime Minister. I am proud to say that today he, like John F. Kennedy or even Barack Obama, though he has gone into the shady light, he is now recognized as the Prime Minister of the world, especially after this Ukraine and Russia fight. So we are very proud of Modi. I think this Hindu-Muslim should go. Hindu-Muslim should go. And lastly,
you agree? You agree?
India,
would you want to
no Hindu flag, no Muslim flag,
Mr.
only
Firoz
India
Bakht
flag.
Ahmed for holding the views that he does, or is he anti-constitutional?
Whether Firoz Bakht Ahmed or Waris Pathan, whosoever, we love our country. We are born here and we are proud. We were the person who have rejected Jinnah's two-nation theory in 1947.
We are born here, we will die here.
In our great nation Bharat by birth and by choice. Yes, of course, we are born here with diamonds. We don't, but the certificates which are being given to us by the RSS and the BJP is very traumatizing.
Why
we
are
don't want
you
a
taking the
certificate
names of
nationalism or
RSS
patriotism
and
from them.
BJP?
Where were they when in
No,
1947 when we were fighting and sacrificing our
RSS
lives
is the
for
largest
the independence of our great
and the
nation?
most
They were not
disciplined
to
organization
Now
in the
let
world.
me get you some
If you
facts
don't have the
and
answer,
figures.
they
Let
were
me
talking
get you
about
some
don't
facts
start
and
taking the
figures
names of
because my
RSS and
friend
BJP.
Dr. Anand Ranganathan
Why should we be
always
why
has
should
facts
we
on
ask
his
questions every now
fingertips.
and then?
And today, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, do you want to bust some of the lies, and if not lies, half-truths of Mr. Waris Pathan?
तौबा तौबा, वारिस पठान साहब मेरे बहुत ही चाहते मित्र हैं और पर लेकिन नाविका आज हैट्रिक होने वाली है। ये 2 बार मुझसे डिबेट में आपके शो पे हार चुके और मुझे बिरयानी भिजवाई इन्होंने, वेज बिरयानी। आज तीसरी बार होने जा रही है। When he says very provocatively, he and his leader, that why doesn't Modi visit Gyanvapi Mosque, Kashi Mosque? Should he visit Gyanvapi Mosque because Al-Hakim Mosque was also made by demolishing a Shiv temple, Waris Pathan साहब? ये आपका provocation है, इसीलिए लोग आपसे गुस्सा हो जाते हैं। Because one mosque has been built by, now please don't interrupt. One mosque in Kashi Vishwanath has been cruelly made by demolishing one of the most sacred Hindu sites. The other site which Modi visited, Al-Hakim Mosque, is one of the grand, proudest Islamic structures that has been built on its own foundation without demolishing any other religious structure. So this comparison itself is invalid, and please parcel me a third biryani. Now, Navika, let's get to serious issues. Look, while it is good that finally a minister countered Obama and tried to expose his lies, just mentioning that Obama bombed 6 Muslim nations doesn't make the rebuttal watertight. I'm afraid all it does is expose Obama's hypocrisy. It doesn't address any of his propaganda-driven lies. Remember, a hypocrite on his off day can also speak facts. And so one must rebut him on those and not just expose him as a hypocrite. Also, Obama can very well counter by saying that he bombed Muslim nations irrespective of their religious affiliation for the greater good of saving their population from more misery. Therefore, Obama's lies must be counted on 5 levels. Please give me a couple of minutes. It's very important. Number 1, remember when Barack Obama came visiting in 2015 and told us off snootily about persecution of religious minorities? This, when during the Obama years, there were 270,000 violent hate crimes in 2012 alone. But we remained silent as he waxed eloquent about human rights and Christians in their attack, even though that whole narrative turned out to be totally fake. All church attacks were thefts and arson and nothing to do with communal hate. So we should have demanded an apology, but we let it go. And this only emboldens the liar. Number 2, since 2017, Navika, there have been more than 210 documented instances of hate crime attacks, lynchings, attempted lynchings by Muslim mobs and Hindus, Dalits and non-Dalits. Force feeding beef, forced conversions, breaking temples, lynching, the list is endless. Let me turn the situation around. What if media only reports hate crime attacks on Hindus by Muslim mobs? What will be your impression about India then? Yes, that only Hindus are being targeted by Muslims here. While the truth is that hate crime attacks are not the exclusive preserve of any one particular religious community. Selectivity seeds propaganda. Number 3, on this trope of only BJP mainstreaming violence, they never outrage on the BSP selecting a Muslim candidate, a man who offered 51 crores to anyone who beheaded Charlie Hebdo journalist, or when Mehbooba Mufti condoles the death of Wari the terrorist, or when ex-vice president presents an award to the PFI chief, or when sitting MLA Tahir Hussain leads a mob and says, I quote, teach a lesson to these kafirs, unquote, then it is not mainstreaming of violence. 4, look, it is high time we talked of real discrimination. Is it discrimination against Muslims or against Hindus when Muslims are shouting from mosque they will behead Nupur and all those who oppose Azan and Hijab, or when Kashmiri Hindus are forced to be refugees in their own land, or when Hindu temples are exclusively controlled by the state, when Place of Worship Act prevents Hindus from reclaiming their temple? Finally, 5, when people accuse Modi of being anti-minority, I laugh. Minorities before 2014, just 30 seconds. 20,000 skill trained, 5% with government jobs, 3 crore scholarships, 70% girls school dropout rate. Minorities after 2014, 2 million skill trained, 10% with government jobs, 5 crore scholarships, free UPSC coaching, 30% school dropout rate, while our Muslim population is 14.2%, as many as 31.3% of homes under Awas Yojana, 33% of funds under Kisan Samman Nidhi, 36% beneficiaries under Mudra Yojana have been Muslims. No other Prime Minister has comparatively done more for Muslims than Modi has. Waris Pathan साहब, आपको एड्रेस DM करता हूं, बिरयानी भेजिए.
बिरयानी तो बनती है, but Dr. Sanjay Jha.
You said there is no religious discrimination in the country just now. No, you said there is religious discrimination. There is discrimination with our Hindu brothers and sisters in the country. Whereas Modi in America is saying there is no religious discrimination in our country. He is talking about sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas. And you are saying that now you have to contradict Modi. You are contradicting Modi now. You have to send me biryani now.
इस डिबेट में दो मुसलमान हैं। मोदी जी का मुस्लिम मंत्र है, मुस्लिम हमारी संतान की माफिक हैं, हम उनके साथ बराबरी का सलूक करना चाहते हैं। और दूसरी सुन लीजिए, मैं हर एक मुसलमान के एक हाथ में कुरान और एक में
गले लगाओ, फॉरेन के एनआरआई को क्यों गले लगाते हैं भाई? देश के मुसलमानों को गले लगाओ, फॉरेन के मुसलमान अच्छे दिखते हैं उनको।
डूइंग इट।
वारिस पठान में क्या बुराई है? मुझे भी गले लगाओ भाई, मेरी भी थोड़ी थोड़ी दाढ़ी है।
ऐसे लोग नहीं होंगे और कुछ लोग नहीं होंगे। और एक बात और सुनो, फाइनली लास्ट 5 सेकंड्स प्लीज अलाउ मी। देखो पठान साहब, मैं कहना चाहता हूं आपसे, और अपने मेरी बात सुन लो, आप मेरे छोटे भाई हैं, सुन लो। हर मुसलमान से भी आपके समेत मैं कहना चाहता हूं, सुनिए, हर मुसलमान के लिए हिंदुस्तान से बेहतर मुल्क और हिंदू से अच्छा दोस्त नहीं है। इस बात को मान के चलें। और शायद आपने, जब आप कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे होंगे, लॉ पढ़ रहे होंगे, कहीं गए होंगे, आपने इसको एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा। इस बात को मान के चलिए, हिंदुस्तान इज अ ग्लोरियस कंट्री, और इससे बेहतर मैं समझता हूं डेमोक्रेसी, और क्या बोलते हैं उसको, मैं उसमें यकीन नहीं करता। इट्स नॉट अ कम्युनल कंट्री, इट्स अ वंडरफुल कंट्री, और इससे बड़ा सेकुलर देश कोई नहीं है। ना अमेरिका है, ना ब्रिटेन है, ना ऑस्ट्रेलिया है। और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने व्हाट ही सेड, एल्बनी सेड,
I love my country, but I only have problems with my prime minister. We understand your point, Varis Pathan ji. But Dr. Sanjay Jha, my question to you is, are we now in a situation where we think that everything that happens in India has to be panned until and unless the Congress comes back to power? बाकी सब खराब ही हो रहा है।
Navika, if I get equal amount of time, I will expose the BJP's double standards and hypocrisy in a nutshell. Point number one, Nirmala Sitharaman has very poor credibility. Her track record is absolutely abysmal. She's on record to say that there were no terror attacks in India since Modi became Prime Minister in 2014. Clearly, I mean, for political propaganda, she's willing to ignore Pathankot, Uri, etc. So I don't take her comment seriously. I don't think anybody should. And I'll tell you the reason why. And here is the truth. She talks about Barack Obama bombing Muslim countries when she doesn't even have the basic elementary knowledge or information that in 2015, Barack Obama was a guest invited by the Indian government led by Mr. Modi, who is part of the BJP. And Mr. Barack Obama, then the President of the United States, actually made a comment where he said that Mahatma Gandhi would have been shocked had he seen the religious intolerance in India. This was said in 2015. Why is it that the BJP is suddenly wakening up to the reality of what Barack Obama said earlier? What he said on the television program on CNN was exactly what he said earlier. So I can tell you the second point that should cause us a lot of concern. Mr. Modi, as a prime minister of a democracy, actually speaks to the international media and pretends as if he doesn't know what's going on in his own country. Let's take two examples. Number one, as Varis Pathan correctly mentioned, there have been lynching cases in Maharashtra, and by the way, we all know the number of lynching cases.
Please talk about Udaipur in the same breath as Maharashtra. Then Dr. Sanjay Jha, Varis Pathan also keeps
live fact check.
Varis Pathan is also showing some
live fact check. Navika, not fair. Navika, live fact check.
This is not fair. Navika, this is not fair that I'm being interrupted on the program.
Okay.
This is absolutely unfair. This is absolutely unfair.
Complete your point.
Let me finish my point.
Complete your point.
The second point, I think equally important, Varis Pathan is wrong. The Muslims who are leaving the state are not happening in Congress-ruled Himachal Pradesh. They are happening in BJP-ruled Uttarakhand. And let's be clear on that, and I'm sure Mr. Modi knows about it. We also know that in Manipur, over 100 people have died, and Mr. Modi absolutely has no time for it, of course. And we know that those tensions that have taken innocent lives. Can I speak without an interruption, my dear friend? Can I speak without an interruption, please?
Okay.
Yeah? The important point is we all know that these are communal conflagrations. Point number 4, I want to ask this question through your very popular program, Navika. to the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. You know what he did? He actually used what the Republicans use as a conspiracy theory in America, is to make Barack Obama look like a Muslim, like a secret Muslim who's pretending to be Christian and is trying to throw away the US or destabilize the US government. Why did the Chief Minister of Assam use Hussein Obama? And what did he mean when he said, I will take care of the Hussein Obamas in the country? What exactly is that illusion?
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia is responding.
Points,
you've raised a number, half a dozen questions.
Yes.
Gaurav Bhatia, respond please.
And I'm not done yet. Give me a chance to come back.
Thank you.
Can I, Navika?
Navika, it's a very flourishing business for the Congress sympathizers to come and give certificates on various debates and then say that Nirmala Sitharaman ji has a very poor credibility. I don't know. Fifth largest economy in the world under her leadership, and she's doing very well as a finance minister. Poor credibility is a term we can relate to Rahul Gandhi, who goes on foreign soil, Mr. Jha, and he says democracy is dead in India. And after saying that, Congress, शांत हो जाइए बाबू, शांत. ये बदतमीजी मत करिएगा, आपके बीच में बोला नहीं था.
Dr. Sanjay Jha, Dr. Sanjay Jha, you've asked questions. Please wait for your turn. I will give you turn. I will give you your time to rebut. Don't interrupt him. Let him complete his answer. You have a problem with it, you can rebut. Yes, Gaurav Bhatia.
Okay.
Thank you. So, the person who has the poorest credibility in the entire world is Rahul Gandhi, and I will tell you, he is making statements on foreign soil, insulting our democracy by saying democracy is dead in India. If democracy is dead in India, how these opposition parties having a meeting in Patna? If democracy is dead, how did the Congress win Karnataka elections? And please, you need to know, Mr. Jha, that we respect all opinions, but at the same time, you belong to a party, that party believes that minorities, especially the Muslims, have the first right to the resources of the country. Narendra Modi ji has always believed in Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. And that is what troubles you the most, that he is taking forward the entire country and people, irrespective of their religion, caste, their regional affiliation. Third, you think Obama's words are sacred and sacrosanct? I want to ask you. Barack Obama, for Rahul Gandhi, in his book has written that Rahul Gandhi is like a student who works very hard but fails to impress because he doesn't have the deep knowledge which is required. He said for Manmohan Singh ji that as a Prime Minister, he wasn't given a free hand by Sonia Gandhi. So, what, you believe those words of Barack Obama? If you do, then please let us know. Don't pick and choose and then say that this statement of Barack Obama is very important when the US President is welcoming Narendra Modi ji, understanding the richness of our democracy. And one more thing I want to say, you talk about Manipur. You remember elections in the northeastern states of Nagaland, of Tripura, Meghalaya? Your president, Mr. Kharge, what did he say? Chote states hain. Congress haar gayi to kya hua? We will take every effective measure that is required to restore peace in Manipur. But agar छोटे state है कहा था, कम से कम इतनी हिम्मत दिखाइए राहुल गांधी और खड़गे जी से सवाल पूछिए, छोटा स्टेट क्या होता है? आज पॉलिटिकल सूट कर रहा है तो उसके लिए आप कह रहे हैं कि मणिपुर पे आंसर दीजिए. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, आई वुड ओनली से दिस, नाविका, Barack Obama's statement is just like a statement made by any other person. He is entitled to his opinion, but that cannot overshadow the gains that have been brought to India by Shri Narendra Modi ji, the deals that have been struck, and the position that our country today has in the global order. And that is what irks the Congress and the opposition parties.
Well, I'll open this up. Rohit Agarwal hasn't spoken. I'll come back to you, Sanjay Jha. Just give me 30 seconds to get in.
Relevant. I just need to make a quick one and then I'm done.
Okay, then if you want to make a quick one, then let me also correct you. When you said comments about Gandhi, let me read out exactly what Obama had said then. Michelle and I returned from India, an incredible, beautiful country full of magnificent diversity, but a place where in past years, religious faiths of all types have on occasion been targeted by other people of faith simply due to their heritage and their beliefs, acts of intolerance that would have shocked Gandhiji, the person who helped to liberate that nation. He said this when he reached back the United States, and he said humanity has been grappling with these questions throughout human history, and lest we get on our high horse and think this is unique to some other place, remember that during the Crusades and the Inquisition, people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ as well. So he was not only making a comment about India, he was making a comment about the world and human tendencies. So, Dr. Sanjay Jha, you know, half-truths can sometimes be very misleading.
Navika, let me tell you why they are not half-truths. What Barack Obama said is actually the US state foreign policy statement of India. Let me give you two examples. Number one, Gaurav Bhatia should know this. The US State Department formally, in its report for the last successive years, has made strong statements which actually echo exactly what Barack Obama said on the religious freedom in India. And by the way, Mr. Modi's government, not even on one instance, has been able to actually take them on. Number one.
Well, then I want to ask this question.
Number two.
And let me ask you, Dr. Sanjay Jha, is the United States' own record perfect? Is it perfect? And Rohit Agarwal, I want to ask you this question also. When we take Mr. Barack Obama's statement, which is a hypothetical statement
about India, or the US State Department report, please ask him that. What would prevail? What the US President is speaking, or the US State Department report?
Well,
what would have more credit?
Mr. Bhatia, let me give you
what kind of an illogical argument is that?
You may have just scored a self-goal. You talked
Mr.
about
Sanjay
US
Jha,
President.
US
Mr. Bhatia,
President
listen to me.
Made a speech.
Listen to me. I expose
he
you
praised
now.
the Prime Minister. He spoke about the vibrant democracy and the thread we share in common. Did you not hear that part of the speech out of your hatred
Navika,
for
let
Shri
me
Narendra
expose him.
Modi
He
ji?
scored a self-goal. Do
Nahi,
you know what Joe Biden said on Kashmir?
आप सुनो,
Do you know what Joe Biden said on Kashmir? Gaurav Bhatia, you have not prepared for this debate.
You will dig up all the past comments of everybody, for which I think we will have to have what in Hindus is a Jagrata. We'll have to do that. But Rohit Agarwal, I'm coming to you, Anand Ranganathan. I want everybody else silent. Rohit Agarwal hasn't spoken, and I don't wish to be non-secular to him in this debate. So, Rohit Agarwal, my question to you is, are we just fishing for trouble? Are we in a situation where we don't want to acknowledge that this was a roaring success of a trip? Are we trying to find some little thing here or there just for pinpricks, so that as opposition in this country, at least our dharma is never ever to say anything complimentary about the Prime Minister or the government in power?
Navika, first of all, I am thrilled to know the religion of the panelist, and this has been disclosed by the fellow panelist, that from which religion the panelists are there. So when we talk about the religion of the panelists, definitely the question arises where the country is.
I am a law-abiding Muslim. I love my Prime Minister. And if you have any doubt about it,
please.
Yes,
I understand you are a law-abiding Muslim. I have waited for 35 minutes patiently for my turn, and I believe you will allow me to speak. And being a responsible opposition, I think when we are talking about the foreign diplomacy, then we should be little more careful and responsible. And definitely, I think Mr. Barack Obama has not gone through the letter issued by BJP on fringe element. And definitely the Prime Minister visited Egypt after US visit. So definitely Mr. Barack Obama was not knowing that how secular our Prime Minister is. That's why he is speaking something which is nonsense. But definitely we should ask BJP, when Prime Minister was serving tea to Barack Obama, then Prime Minister told that हमारे तूतू मैमे के संबंध हैं बारक साहब के साथ, तो उसके ऊपर भी एक 2-3 स्टेटमेंट अगर बीजेपी की तरफ से आ जाए, वो तूतू मैमे वाले जो संबंध थे वो कैसे खराब हुए, क्या रीजन है, why they have gone in a drain.
I ask him a very short
And
question.
definitely, Navika, I don't understand why BJP is silent on Manipur. BJP is silent on
on Manipur.
BJP
we can
is
debate that.
on
We can debate that on another day. But tonight,
BJP is a
it
most
was
secular
on
party.
this. Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan. Are they turning this into a facile debate? Because I'm coming to you, Gaurav. But are they turning it into a facile debate with half truths, with lesser facts? Why is the opposition resorting to this?
Very simply, because it has been a successful trip. Now, I won't go as much as to say, as my dear friend, former Vice Chancellor said, that it has been a spectacular trip. But by all accounts, I think it's been a very successful trip and the opposition is pleased. But can I please do live fact check of my good friend Sanjay Jha? He's a very dear friend. But he made a very bold and controversial statement. He said the credibility of the present finance minister is zero. And he said why? Because she said that there have been since 2014 no terror attacks. And he quoted Pulwama. My friend Sanjay Jha should know that he said...
Pulwama, don't lie. I said Pathankot and Uri. Don't lie.
Okay. So when she made that statement, her statement was there have been no major terror attacks. You missed out the major.
So Uri is not a major terror attack. Pathankot is not a major terror attack.
Dr. Sanjay Jha, Dr. Sanjay Jha, if you're going to question the credentials of Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, then I will personally send you a list of many other leaders in your own party or your erstwhile party whose credentials you should check before you point a finger at Nirmala Sitharaman, the first woman finance minister that we've had, and she has an incredible record to her name. But Gaurav Bhatia, last word to you, 30 seconds.
I just want to remind the Congress sympathizer Sanjay Jha that please do not talk about Pulwama. Don't even dare to. I'll give you the reason. Do you know, we responded because Narendra Modi ji gave a free hand to the army, and after that, we saw how Pakistan was taught a lesson. Balakot airstrike, surgical strike before that. But Surjewala, do you know what he said? He gave a clean sheet to Pakistan. He said homegrown terrorism. Homegrown terrorism. Sharam nahi aati aapko? Rahul Gandhi was dancing after the 26/11 attack on Mumbai. Nahi, jawab do, aapko kyun de? आप इस लायक नहीं हो कि आपको जवाब दिया जाए। पहले पार्टी के प्रवक्ता बन के आइए या
well, as far as India is concerned, I think the opposition and the treasury benches will have to agree to disagree. Even when it comes to matters of national security, if we do not unite as a country, when it comes to foreign visits where India is the gainer, forget which political party is in power and which political party is in opposition. The question is, are we wearing very short-sighted lenses? That's the question we will need to ask ourselves. Because when it comes to the country, we just have to be disciplined enough to talk about only the good of the country. And that's where it ends. There is no if, there is no but that can come in between. We leave it at that for the moment. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.